What's up, guys? The lighting in here is amazing right now. My face looks really, really ghost-like. So I am doing, in addition to Nutrition 101, this is Nutrition 101 Part 2. We have decided to launch these information meetings, gatherings. You'll see multiple formats of this, but the video blog or the vlog is kind of a good way to start. These are going to be called Teaching Athletes to Conquer Obstacles or Tacos Tuesday. All right, so why not? So today we're going to kind of add a little bit on to where we were last week with the CrossFit nutrition mantra, the eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. All right, we're going to kind of add on to that a little bit as some more tangible things that you can use in your arsenal. We're going to get into next week. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth about nutrition and kind of the goal of nutrition. And if you saw a little tease a while ago about the nutrition challenge for the gym coming up, that's going to launch in August. We're going to go into details about that, but we're going to try to build up your knowledge base about nutrition before that starts, so that we can all enter into that thing with the right mindset and the right goals in mind. You guys are on here. If you have not seen the documentary Fed Up, it's on Netflix right now. I would absolutely watch that if you can. Let me see if I can. It's called Fed Up on Netflix. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a lot of the stuff that we kind of practice and preach, and we know that's true about nutrition and the things that cause people to fail in nutrition. It's just a great documentary. Love that type of stuff. That'll be required watching for the nutrition challenge. So just a heads up. Today we're going to cover a couple things. One is, I know we talked briefly last week about shopping. So we're going to touch on that again, but also how to build your plate, how to build your actual food plate when you start to eat. All right, so shopping again. Maybe I'll take me or Tracy, we'll go shopping next week for you guys, and we will show you kind of like just a 15-minute window around the grocery store shopping. So show you what we're looking for, kind of show you some good healthy alternatives for lunchtime and snacks and things like that, some things that you can do to kind of build your own personal arsenal of nutrition weapons. All right, so one of the things first is building your plate. So I'm a horrible drawer, and I've drawn something for you, but I'm going to draw some more on it. Maybe it'll make sense, maybe it won't, and if it doesn't, then it's totally not my fault, and this marker doesn't work. But I want to divide my plate up into, it's horrible. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, into thirds. All right, so here's kind of our plate divided up into thirds. All right, so this piece right here is 2/3. This is 1/3. All right, bear with me. It's thirds. All right. Building your plate is simple. So 2/3 of your plate needs to be vegetables. All right. Eat meat, vegetables. All right. So talk about vegetables. 2/3 of your plate is going to be carbohydrates. Vegetables are carbohydrates. If you happen to have some starch, a little bit of starch is okay, like your rices and potatoes and things like that. That's fine. All right. No sugar. All right. In that 2/3. So mostly vegetables. And kind of how Jennifer's got me to eat over the years is we use like a rainbow of veggies. Leafy green stuff. Try to eat something red every week. Try to eat something orange and yellow and purple and things like that. That kind of keeps you on point for micronutrient consumption as well as macronutrient consumption. We'll talk about that kind of in a later episode. But 2/3 of your plate is vegetables. 1/3 of your plate, so this guy right here, is going to be good quality protein. Right? I heard one of the guys that's been around CrossFit for a long time, a guy named John Gilson, used to own Again Faster. He put it on Facebook today. The way to think about nutrition is when you eat something, it should have been living before you ate it. Right? So like plants, they were alive at one point. They were growing on their own. Right? Animals, were alive at some point. Or I'm not full vegan here. I don't I don't necessarily agree with that lifestyle 100%. If you're a vegetarian, you want to do that, that's fine. But the highest quality sources of food are ones that were formerly living. Simple as it possibly can be. If you have to eat food that is not fresh, all right, so like think about how many steps it took to get to your food, all right? If it comes in, so like we talked about broccoli, the main ingredient of broccoli is broccoli. Even if it's like broccoli florets or broccoli crowns that are frozen, that basically only took 2 steps to get it there. One is to harvest it, obviously, and then to package it, they freeze it. All right. If it's like broccoli florets in garlic butter sauce, that's an extra step. All right. So the more steps it has to process into the food you're eating, the worse it is for you. All right. So we want to eat food in as real a state as possible. All right. So as close to real as you possibly can. That's our goal. Our plate is built with 2/3 of our plate being vegetables, all right? A third of our plate being good quality sources of protein. I don't care what type of protein you eat, good quality sources. And then, I'm going to draw a little sliver here in the top section, right there, that is going to be reserved for fats. All right, so good quality fats. And honestly, like things like avocados, it's going to take up more space than that. But if you're doing like nuts and olives and things like that, that's kind of the idea there, is just a little sliver of them, just enough to get some satiety from the fat for your food, and that's it. All right, simple plate production, simple plate building is 2/3 vegetables, 1/3 high quality protein, and then a nice sliver of fat. Now, most folks, and you might get on some nutrition websites and look at some nutritionists and some dietitians, what they say. This goes for most people. Most people do not need more than a fist size or a palm size helping of protein at a time. All right, your body can only process so much at a time. You're just wasting the protein if you have like 9 steaks in a row. Right, you're gonna end up just excreting it out. Are you gonna like pee all that crap out, or pee it out? Sorry. All right. So just the way Jenny and I do it is we've got these gigantic plates that we have at the house that are probably too much food for us at one helping. So we'll use like the salad plate for our dinner plate. All right. We're small people. All right. We don't need a whole lot of food to feel healthy and to be productive in the gym. You might need a little bit more food. It might take you a couple of weeks to kind of try out different quantities of food, and we'll kind of go into that as we go. But the size of the plate is irrelevant to how it's portioned. Whether it's a big plate or a little plate, it's still going to be 2/3 vegetables, 1/3 high quality protein, and a sliver of fat, healthy fat. All right, now, how do you measure success in an eating plan? All right, let me go ahead and say nobody's perfect. All right, people are going to mess up with this. People are going to kind of go off the rails a little bit every now and then. All right, I don't want you to be 100% all the time. All right, it's no way to live. I don't want to be that person in the corner at a party that's like afraid to have a piece of cake because it might throw his whole hormones out of balance. I don't want to be that person. Jennifer and I live most of the time by the 80-20 rule, and a lot of times by the 90-10 rule. 90% of the time we eat great, so that 10% of the time really doesn't matter. And we'll talk about the difference in a cheat day versus a cheat item at the end of this. But we're going to start the nutrition challenge coming up soon with some percentage work. So how we measure this is, I'm going to erase my beautiful drawing for a second. You guys understand what a plate looks like. So how we kind of measure this is just for easy math purposes. You have, let's say you eat three meals a day, so 21, like 3 times 7 is 21. We're just going to round it to 20 for easy math. All right? So 90% of your meals, say it's 18 meals eaten that are on point. So you get 2 cheats. All right, and we'll kind of talk about this in a second. That's the 90-10. All right, 80-20 looks more like 16 opportunities to eat fantastic and 4 opportunities to cheat. All right, 70-30 is more like 8 opportunities to cheat, or 6 opportunities to eat with 14 opportunities to eat good. You got that 1 extra meal in there, you might as well make that 1 extra meal great. All right, so we use easy math. So how to measure success in this is give yourself a percentage to work with. Hey man, I want to be 75% on point this week, and then map it out. All right, so if you eat 100 times a week, then you've got 75 opportunities that you get. Nobody eats 100 times a week. I'm using that for easy math. 75 opportunities to eat 100% right, and then you get 25 cheat opportunities. All right, that's 75% success. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but for right now, let's just be simple. Okay, so easily divide up how many times you eat per week and make a game out of it. All right, I'm going to try to eat 100% this week. 100% great eating. So following the CrossFit mantra, eat meats and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. That's how you measure success. That's how you can put some quantifiable data on your eating. All right, last is, when we talk about meals, we're talking about every single time you consume like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it contains the 3 macronutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. That is a meal for us. All right, so 3 times a day you're eating a meal. Okay, anytime you go off the CrossFit mantra for this Nutrition 101 talk is considered a cheat. All right, a cheat is an item, not a meal. So a cheat is something like a Snickers bar. That is a cheat. You don't get to do a whole meal of cheating. You don't get pizza. You don't get ice cream, beer, breadsticks as a meal and be like, oh, that's a meal, it's great. No, your body's going to go into catastrophe mode when you do that. All right, again, basic stuff. We can talk about individuals kind of as we get rocking and rolling here. There are some refeeding strategies and things like that. You have some intermittent fasting stuff and you have some feeding areas, but for the most part, consider every single time you eat a meal being carbs, proteins, and fats, and every single time you cheat be an item. Does that make sense? Puts a lot of handles on eating better more of the time. All right, I know for a fact every single Sunday I'm going to cheat because I'm going to have pancakes. Just how my family rolls. All right, I'll have pancakes, and they are delicious. But I look forward to it. So I know if I'm going to do that on Monday through Thursday, I've got to be on point with how I eat and why I eat and what I eat, because it matters. All right, it makes me feel great. And I know I saw Alicia hop on the call here for a second. I saw her Facebook status earlier. She was on Whole Life Challenge and felt amazing, and then she brought back in things that are not very good for her, and her joints started hurting again. Right? Eating the CrossFit mantra for 30 days will let you know a lot of things about your body. All right? A lot of things about your body. So, Nutrition 102, really simple, how to build a plate. Guys, taking your plate, divide it into thirds. 2/3 is going to be vegetables, 1/3 is going to be protein, and then a good sliver of fat. How to measure success: divide how many times you eat per day, multiply that by how many days in the week, and then give yourself a percentage. Start with something moderate, 70%. All right, then go to 80% success, and then 90% success. See if you can do 100% success. All right, and then cheat day, like back in the old school days of CrossFit, we used to give ourselves a whole cheat day. All right, so every single meal was just garbage. All right, if you build up enough cheats, that can work, but you're gonna feel like crap for the next 2 days afterwards. All right, so use those kind of sparingly. Instead of thinking about it like a cheat day or a cheat meal, think about it as like a cheat item. And you get one thing to cheat with, but don't feel bad about the cheat. We're all adults. We're all human. Like at my son's birthday party, I'm probably gonna have cake. All right, but I know when I do that, I gotta account for that earlier in the week. All right, so that's your Nutrition 101 Part 2. today. If you guys have any questions, comment below, and we will get rocking and rolling with answering them. All right, see you guys later. If you joined late, watch the Netflix documentary Fed Up. It is amazing. See ya.